Halo Sobat Literasi, kembali lagi bersama kami di Siniar Literasi bersama saya Surya Darma dan rekan saya.
Carens Suchyanda.
Ya, hari ini kita masuk kepada episode yang ke-8 Siniar Literasi di Gurindam 12 Perpustakaan Universitas Riau. Nah, hari ini di episode ke-8 ini kita mengambil tema yang sangat luar biasa nih teman-teman, yaitu Belajar Budaya Lintas Negara. Dengan narasumber kita yang tidak kalah luar biasanya, ada Tarker dan Kak Sifra. Halo.
Halo.
Halo, gimana kabarnya hari ini? Sehat? How are you?
Baik.
Oke. Nah teman-teman semuanya, sedikit informasi bahwa narasumber kita hari ini adalah ada Tarker. Dia adalah seorang mahasiswa dari Amerika Serikat, tepatnya di Alabama. Dan Kak Sifra ya, Kak Sifra ya. Kak Sifra ini adalah seorang guru dan freelance translator teman-teman. Nah hari ini kita mau menggali nih informasi-informasi tentang yang paling utama adalah kepada Tarker mengenai budaya yang sudah dipelajarinya selama dia berada di Indonesia. Nah sedikit informasi teman-teman bahwa Tarker ini datang ke Indonesia untuk berlibur sambil untuk belajar mengenai budaya yang ada di Indonesia. Mungkin nanti teman-teman selanjutnya ini akan dipandu oleh rekan saya, Carens, dengan berbahasa Inggris. Oke, kepada Carens disilahkan.
Okay, so welcome to Gurindam 12 podcast. Today is very exciting day because we have a special guest here, a student college from Alabama, right?
Yes.
Okay, please welcome Tucker Townsend.
Oke.
So good afternoon, Tucker.
Good afternoon.
How do you feel today?
I feel great.
Okay, and have you got podcast before?
I have. I've been on 2 before. This is the third one.
Okay, it's really nice to meet you, Tucker.
Nice to meet you as well.
So before we begin, I would like to ask you several questions, like tell about yourself,
Okay.
like your education background maybe, or
Okay.
what do you like. And I'm really curious too about why you interested to visit Indonesia.
Okay. Awesome. So I am 18. I just started university. I'm in my first semester, about to go into my second. And I just finished high school. And so I have 3 siblings.
Okay.
And then I still live at home with my mom and dad.
Mhm.
And I'm about to move to a university, to a different university. And for fun, I like to play disc golf. It's with a frisbee. I like to golf sometimes.
Okay.
Basketball, football,
Oh, that's
American
interesting.
football.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
all kind of things.
Okay. So you're the youngest or you're the middle?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, you're the
Yes.
oldest.
So I have another brother that's younger than me, and then 2 younger sisters.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So how long have you been in Indonesia?
I've been here for 2 bulan.
2
2
bulan?
months.
2 months, you mean?
2 months,
Okay.
yes,
So in 2 months, what is your first impression after you visit Indonesia?
Oh, I love Indonesia.
Mhm.
The people are so nice and so friendly. Everyone's just like, if you play futsal or soccer, it's like everyone plays, and when we play frisbee, everyone plays, and just super nice. And all the people that and the grab drivers that we've met and things like that, they've just been so nice and open to talk about things. And the religion here is very interesting.
Okay.
Y'all have a lot more religions here than we
Mhm.
have in America.
Mhm.
And so that's been interesting to learn about. And then also just the food, so good. Saya suka dendeng.
Okay, thank
Wow.
you. I take that as a compliment for our Indonesian, right?
Yes, for sure.
And so, how many cities or place that you have been traveled?
So I'm staying in Pekanbaru, but I've been to Candace.
Okay.
And then I've also been to Jakarta.
Okay.
I flew into Jakarta and then from Jakarta to Pekanbaru.
Okay.
Yes.
So, have you just visit a place in Jakarta, like the most iconic place like Monas or TMII?
I actually didn't get to go anywhere in Jakarta.
Oh.
I had to get right back on the airplane and go to Pekanbaru.
Oh, you just transit in there.
Yeah, straight from there.
Okay.
The only other place I've been, I went to the Philippines last year. That's the
Mhm.
only other place that I've been overseas.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But that's interesting though.
Yes.
And what is your favorite place in Indonesia so far?
My favorite place.
Maybe in Pekanbaru,
I have a lot of favorite places. I would say I really like the church that I go to,
Mm-hmm.
and I like working with the kids there.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Matthew and Olivia's house, our friends that live here. We've spent a lot of time there. And then also restaurants. I don't know the name of it, but my favorite restaurant is the Dendeng restaurant.
Oh,
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Okay, talking about dendeng.
Mhm.
Okay, we're gonna talk about and we're gonna switch to something that everyone loves also.
Okay.
It's about food.
Okay. Yeah.
And how was your first impression with experience with Indonesian dishes?
So it's a lot different than in America. In America, we eat burgers and chicken and
Mm-hmm.
no rice.
Yes.
We rarely ever eat rice.
Totally,
but
yes.
I love the rice. I had coconut rice. It was good. I really like just nasi goreng, like just the regular fried rice. I prefer it just chicken, no beef. And then if I do get beef, I like dendeng, obviously. And it's a lot spicier here, a little bit more spicy. And so I've had to learn to say tidak pedas. No spice, no spice. But I like green sambal better than red. I'll say that.
Okay, so what about you say eat dishes, and what about the fruit? You know,
Fruit, yes. I really like melon. Y'all's melon is different than in America. In America, we call it cantaloupe. Cantaloupe.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's really sweet. Compared to here, it's not as sweet, and I like it. And then the watermelon, I really like the watermelon. Pineapple is always good. I like all the fruit.
Okay,
The only one I don't like is durian.
Okay.
I can't do
So
durian.
lots of bule doesn't like durian, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the taste is so strong for
It is
you.
very, very strong.
Okay. So you have tried it before?
I did try.
How many?
Just one. I got one little of the seeds and tried a little bite, and I was like, nope, not for me.
Okay, I get it. And what else? Okay, so we're gonna move to cultural.
Okay.
So, what is the biggest cultural difference between Indonesia and US? Maybe you can tell about your cultural shock in
Okay.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
Please tell us.
I think two things come to mind. The first is the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit different. So in America, if the bathroom is dry and not wet, then that means it's clean.
Okay.
But if it's wet, that means it's dirty. Here it's opposite. If it's wet, it's clean. If it's dry, it's dirty.
Yeah.
And so that was a big shock at the beginning. And then what was the other one?
So you just wipe it all?
It's just completely dry. Like if you clean the bathroom, it's just you clean it and then dry it all off
By yourself?
Yep, just completely dry.
Okay.
And then the second I was going to say is driving. The driving here is a little bit different. So you don't have as many motorcycles. You just have mainly only cars, but there are a few motorcycles. And you have a lot of stoplights and red lights and a lot of it's very formal in America how you drive.
Yes.
So there's a lot of rules you have
really
to follow.
Really hard to get a driver license in there, right?
Sometimes it's pretty easy to get one, but it's just sometimes when you learn to drive, learning the rules of the road is kind of hard because there's so many red lights and things like that. Like in America, you can only turn right if it's red.
Okay.
You can turn green if it's left if it's green.
Okay.
So it's just a lot of different rules and stuff. And so you also drive on the left side of the road here.
Yes.
We drive on the right side of the road.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, it's totally different. But now I've lived in Indonesia long enough that I think when I go back to America, I'm just going to try to drive on the left side.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
And
I will say you can get places faster here. Because in America, it takes a long time to get anywhere because you got to wait through traffic.
Done.
Yes. Here, you just go on the side and go. Yeah.
Okay. So any Indonesian habit or behaviors that you find unique or surprising?
I would say maybe, so in America, we don't have a lot of Muslim. And so they pray 5 times a day, which is crazy. And then also the prayer calls. Most of them pray 5 times a day is what I've seen. And so we don't have that in America as much. So that's really different. And just all the different religions, there's a lot more than there are some in America like Muslims and Hindu and things like that, but they're not as big.
Okay. So it's how many religions in America?
I would say probably the same amount, but the majority of people are either Christian or no religion at all.
Oh,
so a lot of people in America just claim that because they go to church or because
Mm-hmm.
their parents were Christians, things like that, then
Mhm.
they're Christian, and so they're going to heaven.
Okay.
And if we read the Bible, it tells us opposite than that.
Mhm.
But a lot of people claim that, and so they just claim that, okay, I go to heaven, so I mean, I'm going to go to heaven because I've just
Okay.
done so many good things,
Okay, I get it. I
and
get
I've
it.
went to church. Because
Mm.
everyone really grows up, especially in the South where I'm from.
Mhm.
You got like the North and the South of the
Mhm.
United
Mhm.
States. Everyone grows up just going to church, like it's just what you do, you know.
So it's the majority religion in America.
Yes, minority for like Muslim, Hindu, things like that.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting too. And how do you feel about Indonesia and about how our locals interact? And do you find us attractive? Maybe you can visit Jakarta and you find some girls that attractive for
Oh,
you.
really? Well, I'll say y'all's interactions are really they're they're great. Like everyone, all like just driving in a grab, like I can have a full conversation with people, you
Yes.
know, and like just anyone I meet on the street, everyone seems so happy, smiling, you
Mm-hmm.
know. In America, a lot of people are very happy and super nice people that I know, and I have some best friends in America. But some people are just not as happy, you know. Just everyone's not as
Mm-hmm.
just a happy vibe almost, you know.
Okay.
And so I would say that, and then just people are just willing to talk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that because I like to talk. So it's like
Okay.
just they're willing to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
then attractive. Yeah, I would say 100%. I could one day, if the Lord leads, then I could marry an Indonesian.
Thank you. It's real awesome. And do you have any unforgettable moments or funny moments while interacting with the locals?
I would have to think about that. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Funny moment.
2 months?
I know I've got some. I just can't think of any on the spot. What would be a funny moment that I've had?
Maybe like when you realize about Indonesian, then you feel like, oh my god, why did I did this? Like that.
I'll say like in America, if you don't want like if you go to make plans,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't like a lot of people like if they don't want to do the plan, then they'll
Mm-hmm.
just be like, I can't make it. And that'll be it. But in
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia, people are like, oh, I could probably do it, but I've got this and this, and like they go around saying no, which
Mm-hmm.
is cool. But like it's different than in America. People would just say no in America,
Oh,
but like
okay.
here they just kind of like go around no. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want something, like would you want a coffee or something? And then you really don't want a coffee, but you don't want to like hurt their feelings, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. But it's different in America. So I would say that
Oh.
I've had some funny moments with that. Just like I'll be like, hey, do you want to go do this with me? And they really were busy, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't realize that they were telling me no. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, what values or lessons have you learned during living in here?
Values or lessons? I would say number one, just being super happy, you know, like just having a happy vibe. Cause like you, the way you were, the way bad things are going to happen in our life, you know, and they do to everyone and to different extremes to different people.
Mm-hmm.
But bad things will always happen, and I
Mm-hmm.
think the way that we look at the bad circumstance
Yes.
determines our attitude through it. So, like for instance, if I'm having a bad day, you know, like someone has made me mad, like the person
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying with made me mad or something, and my food didn't come on time, and I was late to this or whatever, and just the day starts off bad. It's raining. Like you can still have a good attitude through that, but and I've noticed that a lot of Indonesians can do that. You know, even though that bad things are happening and bad things do happen, they can still have happiness through that.
Okay. Yeah, we are also like a positive vibes always, every
Yes,
day.
positive vibes. I like it.
Okay. So let's move on to cultural exchange. Why is cross cultural learning important for you or for young people like us in nowadays?
I would say just I really like learning about other cultures because it's like there's just so many other people in the world, you know, that we don't. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't ever get to see the other people in the world, and even if they don't get to see them, they don't get to learn the language, you know, things like that. And there's so many different cultures and religions and just foods and things like that, and it's very interesting because, like for instance, some of the places in America don't look like this,
Mm-hmm.
and so if I wasn't able to come here, then I would have never been able to see some of the places that y'all have here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like when I went to the Philippines last year, some of their beaches, like the tide goes in and it comes out, and so during the day it goes out, and so you can walk out. But then the day or nighttime when you come back home or something,
Okay.
you can be like, oh, the tide's in now. And so in America that doesn't happen where I'm from, and
Oh,
so it's like I got to see that, you know.
okay. And so, what message do you have for Indonesian students who want to study abroad, especially in US?
I would say just you can do it. It's hard, but you can do
Okay.
it. And I'm struggling with the language, just Bahasa, but I know like you have to put effort in to do it. So if you want
Yes.
to study, you know, in the U.S. or some other place, you know, like just really be invested into it and take your time with it. And then also one thing I really like to do is just journal about it, like write down about it, because when you do, like you'll forget some of those things. So if you write them down, then you can more better learn the language, learn the school, learn the culture, you know. And so here, one thing that's helped me a lot is just journaling. Like this is what happened today. This is the difference. Is like a wet bathroom is a clean bathroom. And so then when I write that down, I'm like, okay, I remember that, you know.
Okay.
And so things like that.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you have some tips like when you travel to US, you have to bring this and you don't have to do this like that. Maybe you have some advice for us.
Some advice.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the U.S., you won't have to take your shoes off in as many places as you
Okay.
go. I'll say
It's
that.
actually our culture, okay?
Yeah, it's a little different.
Okay, it's all different.
It's
Yeah.
cool though. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you won't sit on the floor as much.
Mm-hmm.
You'll sit like here. You do a lot of crisscross applesauce on the floor. That's what we call it in America, like sitting with your legs crossed on the floor. You won't do that as much,
Mm-hmm.
but I really like how y'all do that here. It's really cool.
Okay.
And so things like that. What you would bring? I don't know anything specific you would bring. You
Mm-hmm.
would bring back maybe some coffee. The coffee's not as good in America as it is here. So if you
Okay.
like coffee, you might want to bring coffee with you.
Okay, that's nice. And about this, would you like to return to Indonesia or even stay any longer?
I would love to return. I wish I keep telling the person I'm with that came with me. I'm like, I don't really want to go home in
Oh
3
my
days,
god.
but I really don't want to go home. But I hope
So
that
sad.
I know, so super sad. I do miss my family and things like that, but I wish that I got to stay longer. And it just went by so fast, you know. Sorry. Um, and I really love Matthew and Olivia, the people that we're kind of staying
Mm-hmm.
with. And so I don't really want to leave them or their kids and stuff like that. But I do know that I have to go home, but I wish I didn't. And I hopefully next year I get to come back. You know, I don't know if I will or not, but I do have to do summer classes for college, so I don't know if I'll get to come home, but maybe I will. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, okay, just a few more questions to close things up.
hmm
Any special message you'd like to share with our audience?
Special message. Okay. I would just say one of the biggest things that in my life, and if I can, I'll share a little story.
Mm-hmm.
If we have time, I'll share the story of how I accepted Jesus, and I would just say that if you don't know Jesus, then you can have a relationship with Him, and that's one of the biggest things. Like coming over here, like even though it's hard for leaving my family and things like that. I love Indonesia, but it's hard to leave your family and your culture and things like that. But being rooted in Jesus is one of the main things that like really makes it where I have peace in that, you know.
Okay.
And then also the degree I'm going. We talked about college a little bit, and obviously this is a college or university. In university, there's a lot of people in America that stray from their faith because
Mm-hmm.
college students bring them into bad things, stuff like that. And so I would say, talking to college students, like specifically, you can stay strong in your faith, and you can have, if you don't have a faith or religion, I encourage you to learn more about Jesus. He
Yes.
can have you can have a relationship with Him one day. And so my story, when I was little, I grew up in the church, and I was constantly always in the church. My mom worked in the church. She was the children's director. She was the youth director, or she helped with the youth, and then she also did the money, like counted the money at the church. So she was super busy in the church and did a ton of things in the church.
Mm-hmm.
But even though she did all that stuff, and so when I was little, I was always in the church. Like I knew where all the snacks were at in the church. I knew where everything was there. Like that was like my second home.
Yes.
Because she lived there, and I have so many memories there.
Mhm.
And then my dad also, he like drove the bus to go pick up kids for church, things like that. So we were always there, and my parents really valued that. But growing up, I always thought that just because I did I went to church, just because I, read my Bible, I prayed, things like that, then that got me into heaven.
Mhm.
But then I soon realized that if you actually do read the Bible, it tells us that it's not about what you do. It's not about the
Okay.
things that you do, like reading the Bible, praying, stuff like that, being in church. It's about having a relationship with Him. And it tells us, it's a verse, it's Romans 6:23. It says, "For the wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus."
Oh.
And so that's the verse I remember reading.
Mhm.
I was about 8 or 9 years old. I can't remember. But around that age, I was just reading, and I read that verse, and I remember coming, and it says, "The wages of sin is death," and we know that. We're gonna die one day, and
Okay,
we're all gonna
yes,
go
I believe
one of
that.
two places. Yeah, everyone's gonna die, and so we earned, like, wage is something you earn. If I pay you, or if you give me this cup because I did something. I was on this podcast, so I earned it for being on the podcast. So you gave me this cup, then I earned it.
Yes.
And so we earned death because of the sin that we did, and we
Mhm.
all do sin. We all have, and we all will, and we all do. And so, but the second half of that verse, says the free gift of God is eternal life. And so it tells us it's a free gift. So it's not about reading the Bible. It's not about going to church. It's not about
Yes.
if your parents went to church.
Mhm.
It's about accepting that free gift that He gives us.
Yes.
And so that night when I was 9 years old, there, I just remember going to my room and being in my bed, and I was looking up at the ceiling. And I don't know if y'all have these things here, but
Mhm.
they're like little stars that you can stick on the ceiling, and they glow
Uh-huh.
up.
Uh-huh.
So I had some of those, and I just remember looking, and I was thinking, like, God made all these stars and all these things, that we take for granted. And I just remember feeling convicted, like, I need to trust Jesus as my Savior. And so I did, and I asked Jesus to come in my heart, and I admitted that I was a sinner to Him, and that I needed forgiveness, and I made Him the Lord of my life. And so from that moment on, from 9, I'm 18 now. So all those years, I've been just living and continuing in my faith, and growing close to the Lord. And so I do the things, like I do read my Bible, I do pray, go to church, but I don't do it because that gets me into heaven. I do it because I want to, because I love
Yes.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if I could say one thing, like, if you don't have a faith, look into that, read the Bible, and God will show you, like how you can have a relationship with Him, and talk to someone that's a Christian. And if you are a Christian, or you do have keep following that, and keep growing in that, even through college, because I know so many friends and so many people that have strayed because and got into bad things, and it never leads well.
Yes.
It never ends up right.
Mhm.
And so, like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible, it tells us, like, he went off and squandered his living, and then one day he realized, I sinned and I messed up, and he had to come back home to his father. That's in Luke. But like, those stories show us, like, it never comes, and sin is fun for a while, but then it ends in brokenness. So I would say, just stay rooted in your faith. Stay strong in your faith.
Okay, so all you want to try
Yes, very
is
good.
put God in the first place, your
Yes,
parents,
yes.
and always feel grateful, because we never know about God's plan, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
And just keep a good mindset. Like I said, like, Indonesians are so good at it. Keep a good mindset, even if things don't go your way. If you don't get good grades, or you're hard and studying in school is hard, just
Trust to
continue
the
on.
God.
Yes, and trust God.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Tucker, for
Yes.
sharing your story to us. And
You're
it's been a
welcome.
pleasure talking to you. And I'm sure our listeners gonna got lots of knowledge about your sharing your experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay, thank you, Tucker.
You're very
And
welcome.
next to Sifra, okay?
Awesome.
Oke, nah teman-teman semuanya, tadi kita sudah dengar sedikit cerita tentang bagaimana pengalaman Tucker selama di Indonesia. Sudah 3 bulan tadi Kak ya katanya ya, 3 bulan di Indonesia.
2
Banyak,
months.
ya,
Dua.
2 ya,
2
2 bulan,
bulan.
2 bulan di
2 bulan.
Indonesia.
Yap,
Yes,
yap.
2 months.
2
Oke,
months.
2 bulan. 2 bulan di Indonesia tentang budaya yang dia pelajari, makanan kesukaannya. Favorite food? Dendeng.
Dendeng.
Yes,
Favorite.
dendeng, ya.
With the green sambal.
Ya,
Nah,
oke.
berensemble.
Oke, nah
Yes.
dari cerita Tarker tadi tidak kalah ada salah satu seorang wanita cantik ini ya, ada Kak Sifra yang merupakan seorang guru dari salah satu instansi sekolah di Pekanbaru dan merupakan seorang freelance translator. Halo Kak Sifra,
Halo.
gimana nih Kak
Halo.
kabarnya? Sehat?
Sehat,
Sehat
kabarku
ya?
baik.
Iya, gimana kegiatan dalam minggu ini?
Kegiatan dalam minggu ini cukup sibuk ya, lumayan
Cukup sibuk
sibuk
ya?
karena anak-anak baru masuk sekolah. Jadi ini
Iya.
2 minggu yang sangat sedikit
Hektik ya.
memusingkan, hektik,
Iya,
yes,
oke.
hektik. Tapi fun,
Fun
karena
ya?
ya senang lihat
Iya.
anak-anak
Memang
dengan
sudah jadi
segala
pekerjaan kita juga
dramanya
ya.
ya.
Iya,
Tapi
oke.
fun.
Kak, kita mau cerita sedikit bagaimana sih awalnya Kakak nih bisa terjun ke dunia penerjemah nih?
Awalnya dari hobi ya, karena
Oke.
kesukaan dari kecil, hobi ngomong bahasa Inggris, kemudian semakin besar kayak coba cari solusi apa yang bisa menolong saya untuk
Iya, iya.
semakin mengembangkan potensi yang saya punya dalam diri saya. Saya mulai cari-cari teman, berteman, tinggal kumpul di dalam satu komunitas yang di sana itu, saya tahu saya punya kesempatan untuk mengembangkan potensi karena ketemu dengan banyak teman-teman
Iya,
bule.
betul betul betul. Berarti, Tarker ini bukan orang yang pertama ya? Bukan
Bukan,
orang
bukan.
pertama, tapi banyak yang sebelum-sebelumnya sudah pernah
Iya,
menjadi ini ya, Kak, ya. Nah,
mhm.
selama menjadi translator nih, Kak, apa sih proyek yang menurut Kakak paling seru nih yang dijalani, yang pernah dikerjakan tuh?
Proyek paling seru ya,
Heeh.
pastinya belajar budaya juga sih,
Oke.
sama belajar budaya kan,
Mhm.
karena saya punya teman-teman yang datang dari luar negeri dan kebetulan saya juga bukan orang Pekanbaru, bukan orang Riau, jadi
Oke.
menurut saya yang seru itu ketika saya menolong teman-teman saya untuk belajar budaya,
Mmm,
khususnya di beberapa tempat seperti Selat Panjang,
iya.
kemudian di daerah-daerah kecil, saya juga di situ saya juga bisa belajar tentang budaya yang ada di sini dan menurutku itu sangat menarik sih.
Iya, oke
Selain
oke.
belajar, saya juga dapat pengalaman baru.
Oke.
Mhm.
Nah, biasanya kalau Kakak lebih sering nerjemahin itu dalam bentuk teks kah, atau video,
Mhm.
atau audio, atau secara langsung sebenarnya?
Sebenarnya saya lebih ke verbal ya, secara
Oke, secara
langsung.
langsung ya.
Mhm.
Oke. Kalau tentang pengalaman nih, dari banyaknya bule yang datang ke Indonesia terutama di Pekanbaru, apa sih sebenarnya karakteristik dari bule ini yang kadang buat Kak Sifra tuh keteteran mungkin atau bagaimana?
Karakteristik sebenarnya bukan keteteran sih ya, karena dari pengalaman saya selama jadi translator ya, mmm, mereka itu orang yang sangat menghargai.
Oke.
Ya, teman-teman bule itu they're so respectful,
Mmm,
when they know that we are still learning English as well.
oke.
Ya, jadi menurutku saya sangat merasa dihargai, karena kan dalam proses ini saya juga masih belajar.
Mhm.
Jadi ketika ketemu dengan mereka, kami seperti saling gitu,
Mhm.
mutualisme. Ya, jadi saling belajar dan mereka sangat appreciate bagaimana kita coba untuk mentranslatekan mereka dan menurutku
Mhm.
itu, satu boost gitu ya yang bisa menolong untuk seperti menguatkan, "Ayo belajar lagi, semangat,"
Oke.
seperti itu.
Oh, luar biasa. Nah, Kak, kadang kan cara berbicara setiap orang itu berbeda-beda ya, dan pastinya mereka juga punya cara karakteristik berbeda dalam berbicara. Kadang ada yang cepat, ada yang pelan gitu. Gimana sih cara Kakak mengatasi ketemu bule yang bicaranya tuh pastinya cepat dan kadang nggak terekam nih? Gimana
Oh,
kira-kira?
iya. Itu mungkin perlu briefing ya,
Oke.
sebelumnya dan itu,
Heeh.
harus ada persiapannya. Menurutku komunikasi itu sangat penting. Jadi sebelum kita mulai, karena kita satu tim seperti itu, jadi mungkin itu juga bisa jadi salah satu hal yang buat keteteran ya, kalau kita nggak biasa dengar orang ngomongnya fast, jadi kita harus, "Can you just slow?"
Yes.
Oke oke
Then it's
oke.
okay,
Mhm
and they will
mhm.
understand, right?
Oke.
Oke oke, have fun.
Oh, okay, there we go, there we go.
Oke, luar biasa. Nah, Kak, kalau kita tahu kan tadi bahwa Kakak selain menjadi freelance dari translator itu kan sebagai seorang guru. Nah,
Mhm.
bagaimana sih cara Kakak atur waktu sebagai seorang guru yang pastinya hektik juga ya mengurus anak murid ini ya, perlu siapin
Mhm,
materi dan lain sebagainya, dengan pastinya harus menyesuaikan dengan kegiatan mereka ya. Bagaimana
mhm.
sih cara Kakak ngatur jadwal itu?
Ngatur jadwal sebenarnya nggak ada jadwal yang secara spesifik harus gimana ya, karena mungkin itu sudah jadi kesukaan ya untuk belajar bahasa Inggris.
Mhm.
Jadi mungkin saya, lebih menggunakan waktu luang untuk main aplikasi seperti Duolingo,
Oke.
seperti itu, atau waktu hangout ngobrol,
Mhm.
coba bangun komunikasi yang lebih banyak gitu dengan teman-teman bule.
Oke, berarti luar biasa sekali ya. Kalau nih Kak, teman-teman nih pasti kadang bertanya-tanya juga sih yang masih dalam tahap belajar bahasa Inggris kayak saya juga sebenarnya lagi tahap belajar nih ya. Apa sih tips dari Kakak sebenarnya bagaimana cara Kakak belajar sehingga sampai sekarang ini sudah bisa dibilang ahli lah ya, sudah lebih mapan istilahnya
Amin.
dalam bahasa Inggris. Gimana sih cara dan tips dan trik dari Kakak belajar bahasa Inggris nih?
Caranya just be confidence. Ya,
Oke.
jangan pernah takut untuk mencoba sesuatu yang baru dan jangan pernah takut untuk membuka diri kepada orang-orang baru karena disitulah titik awal kita bisa semakin luas melihat dunia ini dan juga menggali potensi apa yang kita punya dalam diri kita. Khususnya kalau teman-teman yang menonton ini mungkin ada ketertarikan di masa depan untuk jadi translator, teman-teman bisa coba cari komunitas yang di situ teman-teman bisa belajar secara gratis dan efektif.
Oke, luar biasa. Jadi teman-teman semuanya perlu diingat, untuk belajar itu mulai dari langkah kecil dulu ya Kak ya, mau mencoba, tidak takut dulu seperti
Sebenarnya itu
itu.
natural aja ya,
Iya,
sangat
berjalan.
sederhana.
Iya, berjalan seperti air saja ya, mengalir saja ya Kak. Nah kalau pengalaman lucu nih, kalau tadi Tarker punya pengalaman lucu di Indonesia, kalau Kakak punya nggak sih pengalaman lucu selama menjadi translator?
Pengalaman lucu, mungkin lebih ke sedikit memalukan ya.
Oh ya?
Mungkin waktu awal-awal aja sih, karena waktu awal-awal menjadi translator, menerjemahkan, banyak teman-teman dari luar yang belum mengerti cara kita berkomunikasi. Mereka biasa ngomong dengan sangat cepat, jadi kita kayak seperti butuh, can you repeat again please? Seperti itu. Sama juga sebenarnya dengan mereka. Kadang-kadang mereka juga ketika mereka belajar bahasa Indonesia, mereka pasti nggak bisa untuk terima kita kalau kita ngomong dengan sangat cepat kan. Jadi mungkin dalam menerjemahkan ada beberapa pengulangan itu sih yang menurutku lucu. Tapi itu juga namanya pengalaman ya, belajar.
Iya, betul. Dari sekian banyaknya bule yang belajar nih dan menjadi Kakak sebagai translatornya, ada nggak sih Kakak lihat kemauan dari mereka untuk mau belajar bahasa Indonesia atau bagaimana?
Sangat. Mereka sangat tertarik untuk belajar bahasa Indonesia. Dan bahkan mereka juga sangat percaya diri untuk memulai conversation gitu dengan orang lokal. Itu juga satu hal yang menguatkan saya juga ya. Mereka bisa se-excited itu untuk belajar. Dan bahasa Indonesia menurut mereka ya susah-susah gampang, tapi ya lebih sulit bahasa Inggris sih.
Iya,
cuman itu satu hal bagus yang bisa kita pelajari juga dari teman-teman seperti mereka sangat humble, sangat punya keinginan yang besar untuk belajar dan yang poin penting itu percaya diri.
Punya percaya diri ya.
Percaya diri, jangan malu.
Luar biasa. Nah Kak, sebagai penutup nih, kira-kira apa sih pesan-pesan untuk para penonton nih yang sudah menonton tayangan kita, pengen jadi seperti Kakak nih, translator yang luar biasa, punya teman banyak tadi kan. Apa sih pesan supaya mereka bisa jadi seperti Kakak nih?
Pesannya mungkin seperti yang saya udah sampaikan tadi ya, bertemanlah dengan banyak orang, buka dirimu untuk pertemanan yang seluas-luasnya, cari komunitas yang positif, cari komunitas yang membangun, yang di dalamnya kamu juga tidak hanya fun, tapi kamu juga bisa dapat benefit yang itu menguntungkan diri dan juga bermanfaat untuk banyak orang. Dan linearkan itu dengan hobi dan kesukaan kamu, khususnya kalau suka bahasa Inggris, coba bangun hubungan dengan orang-orang yang berbahasa Inggris juga, karena itu sangat menolong untuk kita praktis.
Sangat luar biasa. Terima kasih Kak Sifra untuk cerita dan pengalamannya serta ilmunya yang sangat luar biasa hari ini. Nah itu jadi teman-teman podcast kita di episode ke-8 ini dengan narasumber kita yang sangat luar biasa, Tarker dan Kak Sifra yang sudah mau berbagi ilmu kepada kita semuanya. Jadi teman-teman semuanya jangan lupa untuk bagikan video ini kepada teman-teman kalian semuanya dimanapun berada. Jangan lupa untuk subscribe, like, dan share video ini sebanyak-banyaknya. Karena di video selanjutnya, di episode selanjutnya kita akan mengundang narasumber-narasumber yang pastinya tidak kalah luar biasa lagi teman-teman. Jadi terima kasih sekali lagi Tarker, thank you Tarker.
You're welcome.
Thank you Kak Sifra.
Thank you Tarker. Thank you Kak Sifra.
Kita berdoa semoga ada umur yang panjang, kita bisa bertemu lagi, bisa belajar lagi, bisa sharing lagi sama-sama. Oke. Sampai jumpa teman-teman semuanya di episode selanjutnya. Sampai jumpa.